Hello, and welcome to 20 Minutes with Jesus. Take a moment to settle your heart. Find a quiet place if you can. Allow this time to be a pause in your day. You don't need to rush. You don't need to have everything figured out. This is a moment to be still before God. Let's begin. There are seasons when God does not change circumstances quickly, but instead invites us to trust the process He is leading us through. These seasons can feel frustrating, especially when the heart longs for resolution, progress, or visible answers. The process feels slow, and patience feels stretched. Trusting the process is often harder than trusting the promise. Promises give hope. Processes require endurance. Many people are comfortable believing that God has good plans, but struggle when those plans unfold gradually. When growth is slow and answers are delayed, discouragement can quietly take root. The heart begins to question whether anything is happening at all. But Scripture reminds us that God works through process intentionally. Process is where faith is refined. Process is where character is shaped. Process is where trust becomes steady. God rarely rushes what He is forming deeply. What develops slowly often carries strength and stability that quick results cannot sustain. The process may feel hidden, but it is purposeful. At the beginning of a year, trusting the process becomes especially important. Expectations are fresh. Goals feel urgent. The desire for movement is strong. But God may be inviting you to walk patiently instead of quickly. Not because He is delaying you, but because He is preparing you. The process is not punishment. It is preparation. Trusting the process does not mean enjoying every step. Some steps are uncomfortable. Some feel repetitive. Some feel uncertain. But God uses each part to align the heart with His timing and wisdom. As we begin this episode, allow yourself to acknowledge where the process has felt difficult. Where have you been tempted to rush ahead? Where has waiting felt discouraging? God gently invites you to trust that He is working, not only at the destination, but in every step along the way. Trusting the process God is leading us through requires learning to trust His timing. Timing is one of the areas where faith is tested most deeply. We often believe God's plans are good, but we struggle when His pace feels slower than our expectations. The heart becomes restless, questioning whether waiting is truly necessary or if something is being missed. But God's timing is never accidental. Every season unfolds with intention. What feels slow to us is often precise in God's design. He sees what we cannot see. He understands what must be formed before the next step is revealed. Timing, in God's hands, is part of the process, not an obstacle to it. Many people experience frustration in the process because they assume progress should be visible. They expect clear signs that something is changing. When life looks the same for a long time, discouragement sets in. But God's work often begins invisibly. He shapes the inner life long before external change appears. God is not in a hurry. Hurry belongs to fear. Timing belongs to wisdom. When the heart rushes ahead, it often does so out of anxiety. Anxiety about falling behind, making the wrong decision, or missing opportunities. But God does not lead through pressure. He leads through peace. His timing protects us from stepping into things we are not yet prepared to carry. Trusting God's timing means accepting that waiting is not wasted time. Waiting refines patience. Waiting deepens dependence. Waiting strengthens trust. These qualities cannot be rushed. They are formed gradually as the heart learns to remain faithful without immediate reward. God values who we are becoming more than how quickly we arrive. Trusting the process also requires releasing comparison. Comparison makes timing feel unfair. It causes the heart to question why others seem to move forward while we remain waiting. But God's process is personal. He does not measure our journey against someone else's. What He is forming in you is specific to your calling, your capacity, and your future. Comparison shortens patience. Trust restores it. When the heart trusts God's timing, it stops measuring progress by speed. It begins to value alignment instead. Alignment with God's will. Alignment with His wisdom. Alignment with His peace. This alignment becomes more important than immediate results. God's timing often includes preparation we do not recognize. While you wait, He may be strengthening your character. While you wait, He may be healing past wounds. While you wait, He may be teaching discernment and humility. These things are not delays, they are essentials. Without them, what comes next could overwhelm rather than bless. Trusting God's timing also reshapes how uncertainty is experienced. Without trust, uncertainty feels threatening. With trust, uncertainty feels temporary. The heart learns that not knowing everything now does not mean it will never know. It simply means God has chosen to reveal things step by step. This gradual revelation keeps the heart dependent, prayerful, and attentive. God's timing invites us to walk, not to rush. Walking requires awareness. Rushing ignores formation. God is more interested in forming a steady heart than in accelerating movement. Speed without stability leads to burnout. Growth without depth leads to fragility. God's timing ensures that what He builds will last. Trusting the process also means trusting that God knows when you are ready. Readiness is not measured by eagerness alone. It is measured by maturity, resilience, and trust. God does not withhold progress to frustrate us. He withholds it to protect us. He knows what lies ahead and prepares us accordingly. When the time is right, movement will come naturally, without force. At the beginning of a new year or season, trusting God's timing requires faith that resists urgency. It means choosing peace over pressure and patience over panic. It means believing that God's silence is not neglect, but careful planning. As you continue through this process, allow yourself to trust that God is not late. He is not slow. He is not forgetting you. He is working with intention, wisdom, and love. The process you are in has purpose. The timing you are experiencing has meaning. And the God who is leading you can be trusted. When trust replaces hurry, the heart becomes steadier. Waiting becomes lighter. Hope remains alive, and faith grows strong. Not because the process is easy, but because God is faithful through every step of it. One of the hardest parts of trusting the process is not knowing what God is doing while nothing seems to be changing. The days feel repetitive. The prayers sound familiar. The waiting stretches longer than expected. And slowly, a quiet question forms in the heart. Is anything actually happening? God's work in the process is often hidden, but it is never inactive. While you are waiting, God is working in places you cannot see. He is not only preparing circumstances, He is preparing you. The process is not primarily about where you are going, it is about who you are becoming along the way. God often values formation over speed. If God moved us too quickly, our character would lag behind our calling. If answers came too fast, trust would remain shallow. If outcomes appeared instantly, dependence would never deepen. The process exists because some things can only be formed slowly. While you wait, God is shaping the inner life. He is teaching you how to trust without evidence, how to remain faithful without applause, how to hope without guarantees. These are not small lessons. They are foundations. And foundations are always built quietly, beneath the surface. long before anything visible rises. Many people feel discouraged in the process because they measure progress by external movement. They look for changes they can point to. But God often measures progress internally. He watches how the heart responds to delay, how faith behaves in silence, and how trust matures when outcomes are uncertain. The process reveals what still needs healing. Waiting has a way of exposing fears we did not know were there. It brings impatience to the surface. It reveals areas where control has taken root. It highlights wounds that were hidden by busyness. God does not expose these things to shame us. He exposes them to heal us. Healing rarely happens in a hurry. God may be using this process to restore parts of your heart that were hurt in previous seasons. He may be rebuilding trust where disappointment once settled. He may be strengthening resilience where fatigue once lingered. These quiet works matter deeply, even if they are invisible. The process also teaches endurance. Endurance is not dramatic. It is quiet faithfulness over time. It is continuing to pray when answers delay, continuing to obey when progress is slow, continuing to trust when emotions fluctuate. This endurance shapes a faith that lasts, a faith that does not collapse under pressure, a faith that does not depend on constant reassurance, a faith that can carry weight without breaking. God often uses the process to align your desires. Sometimes we want outcomes more than we want God's will. We want relief more than refinement. We want change more than transformation. The process gently realigns the heart, teaching it to desire God's presence above quick solutions. This alignment protects you. It prevents you from stepping into things prematurely. It guards you from carrying responsibilities too heavy for this season. It ensures that when doors open, you are ready to walk through them with wisdom and humility. The process also teaches surrender. Surrender is learned slowly. Control loosens gradually. Trust deepens step by step. As the process stretches on, the heart eventually reaches a place where it stops fighting the weight. It stops negotiating timelines. It begins to rest. This rest is not resignation. It is trust matured. God's silence does not mean inactivity. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean God is still. Seeds grow underground long before anything breaks through the surface. The process is the underground work of faith. At the beginning of a new year or season, this truth becomes especially important. New beginnings often awaken urgency, but God may be inviting you to start this season differently, not by rushing forward, but by allowing trust to deepen. What God is doing in you now will support what He does through you later. Nothing in this process is wasted. Not the waiting, not the questions, not the slow days. God uses all of it to build a faith that is steady, resilient, and deeply rooted. A faith that will not depend on circumstances to survive. If you are in a season where progress feels invisible, take heart. God is not behind. He is not distracted. He is not careless with your life. He is working intentionally, lovingly, and wisely, even when you cannot see the results yet. The process is not empty time. It is sacred ground, and as you continue trusting God through it, you will one day look back and realize that the waiting was not just leading you somewhere. It was shaping you into someone ready for what comes next. God, we come before you, acknowledging how difficult the process can feel. You see the waiting that stretches longer than we expected. You see the prayers that feel repetitive, the days that seem unchanged, and the quiet questions that rise when progress is not visible. Nothing about this season is hidden from you. We confess that sometimes the process feels heavy. We want movement, clarity, and reassurance. We want signs that we are not standing still. Yet today, we choose to come honestly, without pretending strength we do not have, and without hiding our weariness. God, meet us right here. Meet us in the waiting. Meet us in the uncertainty. Meet us in the moments when trust feels harder than hope. We surrender our timelines to you. We lay down the expectations we placed on ourselves and the deadlines we imagined for our lives. Forgive us for believing that progress must always be fast in order to be meaningful. Teach us to trust that your pace is purposeful, even when it feels slow to us. God, help us believe that you are working even when we cannot see results. When silence feels uncomfortable, remind us that you are not absent. When nothing seems to be changing, remind us that you are still forming. When doubt whispers that this season is wasted, remind us that you never waste time. We invite you to continue the work you are doing within us. Heal what needs healing, strengthen what feels weak, align our hearts with your will. Remove impatience that has grown out of fear. Soften any resistance that has developed from disappointment. God, teach us how to wait well. Teach us to wait without resentment, to wait without comparison, to wait without losing hope. Let waiting become a place of trust rather than tension. Let it be a space where our faith deepens, not diminishes. Show us how to remain faithful even when outcomes are not yet visible. We surrender the urge to rush ahead of you. We release the pressure to force doors open before their time. We trust that when the moment is right, what you have prepared will unfold naturally and clearly. God, help us rest in the truth that you are shaping us for what lies ahead. What you are forming in us now will sustain us later. What you are refining now will protect us later. What you are teaching us now will guide us later. We choose to trust you in the middle of the process, not only at the beginning and not only at the end. We choose to believe that you are just as present in the waiting as you are in fulfillment. Replace frustration with patience. Replace anxiety with peace. Replace fear with quiet confidence in your faithfulness. God, remind us that our worth is not measured by speed, progress, or visible success. Our value is secure in you. Our lives are held by you. Our future is being shaped by your hands. We place this season fully into your care. We trust that you are leading us wisely, lovingly, and intentionally, even when we cannot yet see where the road leads. Thank you for walking with us through the process. Thank you for shaping us gently. Thank you for being faithful in every season. We choose trust. We choose patience. We choose to remain close to you. Amen. As we come to the end of this episode, take a slow breath and allow your heart to rest. Trusting the process God is leading you through does not require constant strength or certainty. It simply asks for continued trust, one step at a time. You may still be waiting. You may still feel unsure. You may still wish things were moving faster. And yet, God is at work. The process you are in is not empty space. It is a place of formation, care, and preparation. What God is shaping in you now will support what He places before you later. Nothing is being delayed by accident. Nothing is being formed without purpose. As you move forward, resist the urge to measure your life by speed or visible progress. Trust that God's timing is intentional and His guidance is faithful. When the waiting feels heavy, return to His presence. When discouragement tries to settle, choose trust again. If this time encouraged your heart, continue walking closely with God each day. Let prayer, stillness, and patience shape how you move through this season. Allow God to set the pace and trust that He is leading you wisely. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. May your heart remain steady. May your trust grow deeper, and may you continue trusting God, even when the process feels slow